Have you ever promised yourself, tomorrow will be the day I start, only to find that tomorrow never comes? You're caught in that endless loop of, I'll do it later, telling yourself, I'll get to it when I feel more motivated. But deep down, you know that nothing ever changes. And as the days go by, you feel a growing sense of regret and frustration, because you know you're capable of more, but something is stopping you from stepping up. What if I told you that the difference between success and failure has less to do with talent or opportunities, and everything to do with your mindset? The truth is, you are the chosen one to reach your full potential, but only if you break free from the cycle of procrastination. By the end of this video, you won't just hear motivation, you'll learn how to build discipline, stop procrastinating, and unlock your true potential. You'll gain the tools to shift your mindset from, I'll do it tomorrow, to, I am doing it today. Because the key to your success isn't waiting for the perfect moment, but taking action now. Are you ready to stop waiting and start creating the life you were meant to live? Let's dive in and make today the day you take control. Procrastination is something we've all dealt with. You tell yourself you'll start something important, and before you know it, hours or even days have passed. Why does this happen? Why is it so hard to overcome? The answer lies in the comfort of procrastination. In the moment, it feels easy to put things off, to tell yourself, I'll get to it later. It's an immediate relief from pressure and stress. But here's the catch. This comfort is temporary and leaves you with a lingering feeling of guilt and regret. I remember a time in my life when I kept putting off a major project, one that would have taken me closer to my goals. I kept telling myself, I'll do it tomorrow. The problem? Tomorrow never came. Every day I waited, I felt more stressed and disappointed in myself. I was stuck in a cycle of procrastination while others were moving forward. But here's the truth I learned the hard way. Procrastination feels good in the moment, but discipline builds a life you'll be proud of. In this video, I'll share the 5 powerful steps that took me from procrastination to peak performance. You'll learn how to break free from the cycle, build new habits, and take bold action toward the life you're truly capable of living. If you're ready to stop waiting and start doing, let's dive into the first step. Step 1. Stop waiting for motivation. Build discipline. Have you ever found yourself waiting for motivation to hit before you start working? You tell yourself, once I feel motivated, I'll get to work. But that motivation never seems to come. You spend hours procrastinating, and the day ends with nothing accomplished. Here's the thing. Motivation is unreliable. It's a feeling that can fade quickly, and if you rely on it, you'll find yourself stuck in the same cycle of procrastination. Discipline is what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. Motivation may spark action, but discipline ensures you keep moving even when you don't feel like it. I've personally experienced this. There were times when I would wait for motivation to start my tasks, but the reality is, I was only getting started when discipline kicked in. Discipline isn't waiting for the perfect moment. It's deciding to show up and do the work, no matter how you feel. So, what's the actionable step? Commit to doing something every day, no matter how small, that moves you towards your goal. Even if you don't feel motivated, just show up. Set a timer for 10 minutes, start your task, and build the habit. The momentum will follow. Step 2. Turn your fear into fuel. Have you ever delayed starting something because it seemed too overwhelming or scary? You know you should start, but that fear of failure or the unknown keeps you frozen in place. You end up doing anything other than the task at hand. Here's the hard truth. Fear is one of the biggest reasons people procrastinate. We fear failure, judgment, or even the possibility of not being good enough. But here's what most people miss. Fear isn't the enemy, it's fuel. I used to be terrified of speaking in front of an audience. Every time I had to give a presentation, my heart would race, and my mind would be filled with self-doubt. But I realized that the fear I was feeling wasn't a sign to avoid the task. It was a sign I was about to do something important. I turned that fear into a source of energy that pushed me to prepare harder and do better. Your fear can be your driving force. Use it to fuel your motivation instead of letting it hold you back. When fear arises, embrace it and channel it into action. Start by setting small, manageable goals and let each one give you the confidence to take on bigger challenges. Step 3. Start with the hardest task. First, How often do you find yourself avoiding the most difficult tasks on your to-do list? You tell yourself, I'll tackle that later, but it never seems to get done. And guess what happens? It keeps hanging over your head, making you feel more stressed. The solution? Start with the hardest task first. It's called the eat that frog technique, named after the idea that if you eat a frog first thing in the morning, the rest of your day will be easier. The hardest task becomes your biggest obstacle, and once it's out of the way, everything else feels like a breeze. I remember tackling an overwhelming project at work by putting it off for weeks. Every time I thought about it, I felt anxious, but when I finally decided to start with the hardest part, I was shocked at how much easier it became. The fear of that task was much worse than actually doing it. Here's the actionable step. Every morning, pick your hardest task and tackle it first. Don't wait until you're ready. Just do it. Once you cross that off your list, everything else will feel lighter, and you'll be surprised at how much momentum you gain. Step 4. Master self-talk for success. How many times have you told yourself, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough? If you're constantly telling yourself negative things, it's no wonder you're procrastinating. Your mind believes what you tell it, so if you're feeding it self-doubt, it will be hard to take action. Mastering your self-talk is a game changer. Positive, empowering thoughts push you to take action, while negative self-talk keeps you stuck. If you're constantly thinking, I'll never be able to finish this task, you're setting yourself up for failure before you even begin. I used to struggle with this. Every time I thought about starting something new, I'd hear a voice in my head telling me I wasn't good enough. But the more I practiced replacing those thoughts with positive affirmations, I am capable, I will get this done, the more I felt confident and energized to take action. Here's your actionable step. Catch yourself when you think negatively and replace that thought with something empowering. Tell yourself, I am capable, I am making progress, I will finish this. Your thoughts will shape your actions, and once you master your mindset, your productivity will skyrocket. Step 5. Focus on consistency over perfection. Do you find yourself waiting for the perfect moment to start or finish something? Do you feel like your work isn't good enough unless it's perfect? Here's the problem. Perfection is a trap. The longer you wait to make something perfect, the longer you procrastinate, and the further you move away from your goal. I've been there too, waiting for everything to align perfectly before I took action. But guess what? Perfection doesn't exist. The best way to move forward is to focus on consistent progress rather than striving for perfection. Take the example of a writer. A writer who waits for the perfect story or the perfect idea will never get anything done. But a writer who writes every day, even imperfectly, moves closer to their goal. Progress beats perfection every time. Here's the actionable advice. Focus on consistent action. Set small daily goals and do something toward your bigger goals every day, even if it's just for 15 minutes. It's about progress, not perfection. The more you show up, the more momentum you'll build, and the closer you'll get to unlocking your full potential. You've just learned the 5 powerful steps to stop procrastinating and unlock your full potential. Stop waiting for motivation. Build discipline. Turn your fear into fuel. Start with the hardest task first. Master self-talk for success. Focus on consistency over perfection. These steps aren't just ideas, they're the key to transforming your life. Small actions today lead to big changes tomorrow. Every time you take that first step, no matter how small, you're moving closer to the person you're meant to be. Remember, success doesn't happen overnight. It happens every time you choose discipline over distraction, action over procrastination, and consistency over perfection. So, choose today to take control of your future. Now, I want to know, which step will you start today? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you're ready to unlock your full potential, hit like and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell for more life-changing content that will keep you on track toward your goals. Your transformation starts now. Let's make it happen.